My name is Dr. William Clay. You can find me on boysoffthehook.com. What is fatherhood to me? Transparency, love, hope, and forgiveness.
My name is Changa Bell, and fatherhood means to me presence, being there.
Sananda Edwards, and what fatherhood means to me is sacrifice, it's communication, it's making sure that you are pouring everything that you wish you had into your children, and then kind of watching them grow. At the same time, you got to let them be them, you got to let them grow on their own and be who they're going to be. But fatherhood is about transparency, it's about sacrifice, it's about honoring them and allowing them to be the absolute best that they can be. And you just being there to guide that process and be there when you need it.
My name is Daryl Green. Fatherhood means everything to me. I waited all my life to become a father. I'm a father of two beautiful girls, Rebecca Lucille Priscilla Shanti Green and Lillian Lucille Priscilla Nia Green. It means everything for me. It means air, it means life. And so being a father, man, is just one of the most precious gifts that God could ever give me.
Fatherhood. I don't normally put things in very simple things, but if I think about fatherhood and how it's impacted me, I think about my father, and I think what he showed me. I think being a father is being a model. Being a father, more so, as I see it from my perspective right now, is being understanding. And I think understanding is important as a father, because being in the West, many times we would become very rigid and we somehow begin to become very aggressive with our children. But I think it's being calm. I think it's being understanding, being able to assist our children through their endeavors with a calm manner so that we can be the appropriate model that they need.
My name is Dr. Bruce Purnell. Fatherhood means love to me and being able to disseminate values to our children.
What does fatherhood mean to me? I think the most important thing when I think about fatherhood, I think about being present. I think about time. I think about having the ability to connect, spend time, nurture, and pass on all the life lessons that have been given on to me to that next generation. When I talk about fatherhood, I talk about continuity and access to resources, whether that's the mental resources that I invested in as far as study and allowing that to transmit to the next generation, or the monetary resources. But the number one resource is time. Be present, spend time. I think that is the ideal that we should strive for as far as fatherhood, being able to invest time in our children.
My name is Maceo Holman. I want to thank you for this opportunity. In terms of what does it mean to me, one, it's a gift. I think it's a gift from God to be given that title and a responsibility. And as I get older, and as I've gotten older, I realize how important it is that so many of the issues in our community that we are trying to address really go down or come back to fatherhood, being a responsible father. We can have a lot of titles in this as we live. We give ourselves quite a few titles. But if you can say you were a good father, have been, still are, I don't know what more else you can say. Of all the titles a man can have, that's the one I think that brings the greatest honor. That's about it. Thank you.
Grown, got kids of their own. I'm a grandfather. Two little girls, great granddaughter.
Oh.
Fatherhood is one of the best things that ever happened to me in my entire life. A lot of time I wasn't there for my kids, but as I got older, they got older, to kind of understand the relationship that I had with their mothers. So we're tight now. A lot of times I missed them, missed the things that they had going on in their life, but we're closer. We've gotten a lot closer in the last couple of years. I love my kids, love my grandchildren. Wouldn't take anything else for them. Love them to death. But we got to get stronger. I have to get stronger for my children. That's about it.
Richard A. Rowe. And what fatherhood means to me
is leadership, it's love for the family, it is upliftment, it is direction, it is providing, protecting, and making certain that I'm always there for my family. That is what fatherhood means to me.
Hello, my name is Medgar Reed, and I am an ordained minister, but fatherhood really is the essence of what God is all about. You know, one of the things that Isa in the Muslim tradition, or Jesus in the Christian tradition, or Yeshua in the Hebrew tradition taught his followers is to start off their prayer with our Father, our Father. And for me, I'm the father of one child. I was blessed on October the 8th, 1992, which is the greatest day of my life, to see my daughter come forth in life. And so that is, for me, a moment of creation, a moment of inspiration, and a moment that I'll always treasure. But it doesn't stop in just that moment. It started way 9 months before then. When the act of procreation started, it started during those 9 months of nurturing in the warmth of a womb of the mother, which I rubbed every night, and which I talked to every night, so that my voice was familiar to my child, even upon the day that she arrived here on earth. Now she's 26. She's a chemical engineer. She's been to more than 20 countries around the world. She's lived in Australia, and all because I believe I made a difference as a father in her life. One who was a protector, one who was a guide, one who was a non-judgmental listener to all of her hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And rather than crush them, I guided them on a path that I thought the Creator had put her gifts and her talents, and moved her to a place where she thought, and we came to a reconciliation many times. It's been some good, been some bad, but nevertheless, I think that the price of fatherhood, and for me, the cost of fatherhood, because it'll cost you something to be a father, not just in money, but it costs time, it costs patience, it costs the ability to listen without judgment, to allow them to speak their mind. Because every generation comes with a different perspective, and actually older people can learn something from a younger generation if they will just take the time to listen and to be quiet. So that's what fatherhood means to me. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Olamina Stevenson, and fatherhood is a spiritual response to the God force in every man. And I believe that if we begin to look at fatherhood from the perspective that we are the procreators of life, and that our children are the seed that represents ourselves and the legacy of the ancestors that come for us. They all brought here for a purpose, and that without our children, they're our reward. You know, I wrote a book about called The Spirit of Fatherhood that speaks to how we all can become better fathers. 10 ways and 10 steps to be serious fathers. Effective co-parenting skills, and lessons that I learned in fighting for the custody of my sons in the family court system. You know, as long as we're actively engaging to do the right things, you know, I think our children win in the end. And so fatherhood, is the most important thing I've ever done in my life. And I encourage every man to step up so that we can do better, be better, because that's what we need. That's what our children need.
Dr. Henry Gregory, I'm a clinical psychologist. What else? I teach at the University of Maryland School of Nursing and a doctoral program for psychiatric nurse practitioners. I also do training for several public and private agencies around town. And what else? And I'm going to have a private practice.
So I would like to know, what would you say does it mean, not just in our community, but as a man, what would you say it means to be a father?
To be committed. To be committed. Children don't come with, none of us know how to do it from the beginning. What we pick up is what we've learned from the way we were parented. And then we read some, and then we're taught some, get some mentorship, but it's a hands-on process. And nothing has taught me more about life than two things, being a mate and being a father. Because it really, you have to look at yourself, you have to make adjustments continually. And life is about that, adapting to change. And fatherhood will do that. You can have two children and they can have completely different needs. But you have to be present, be nurturing, be supportive, set limits, provide resources, all of those things. I'm blessed. I have a very active father who did that for us coming up. But I see when that's not happening, that costs so much in the community. And when brothers are not doing that, that's an indication to me that they're hurt, that they're in pain, like that. So we have to heal ourselves so we can be present emotionally as well as resource-wise for our children.